Hello, guys. How are you doing today? My name still remains Ayodeji Ezete Thomas, and we're back on another episode of the Farmer Up TV. We're here on YouTube and also Facebook. You can join us live, and we uh, have a special guest on the show right today. It's someone that is going to be talking about another type of farming, which is goat farming. But like I said, if you want to join us, you can join us on Facebook live and on YouTube live as well. You can have your chat on there if you want to have any questions or any information that you want to share with us. It's like our show, it's a conversation kind of show. It's not just a question and answer kind of show. So if you have any comments or anything you want to talk about, please join us. Also do like the show, subscribe, and we'll be very grateful to you for doing that. So don't let me, ramble on too much. Let's bring on our guest. Our guest name today is Simeon Odai. Odii. Sorry. I still, sort of I don't want to spoil that name. It's Odai. So Simeon Odai and is a co-founder of Odii Ranch in Nigeria, precisely Nasarawa State. And the show was able to have him here today to talk about the business of goat farming. Goat farming. When you think about goat farming, we all, just think of, what they're saying about goats, how stubborn they can be and everything. But it's actually a lucrative business to have them. So I'm going to introduce him today, and let's get the show started. Hi, Simeon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing
Hello,
great.
Simeon. Can you?
Good evening from Nigeria.
Okay. Hi. Yeah. So it's a global world now. We, from Canada to Nigeria, US to
Yeah.
Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on the show today, and
Yes. Thank
I will
you very
let
much.
you introduce yourself. I've done a little bit of introduction, but I know you're going to do better than I will. So please introduce yourself to the viewers, please.
Okay. My name is Simeon Odai. I'm the co-founder, the chief executive officer, and chief marketing officer of Odii Ranch Nigeria. Odii Ranch Nigeria is based in Nasarawa State, Nigeria. And what we do at Odii Ranch is that we integrate livestock farming with crop production and aquaculture together with food processing.
That's really something. That's basically an integrated farming. That's what you do, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's nice. So today we are talking about precisely goat farming,
Exactly.
the business of goat farming, how to make money from goat farming. Um, Goat farming. How do you farm a goat? How do you keep them? I used to think growing up, the the um the northerners were the one that does that, and they sort of like they graze them. They don't actually keep them in a place. Can you keep a goat in a confined space? How do you do that?
Of course, you can. In fact, too, when I was growing up, I also saw goats in my locality, where the goat farming was. It was a business for women mostly, where they had some goats, and what they do is that they keep goats at their backyard, and when they have issues, probably when they want to buy something for their child or themselves, they will pick some of the goat and sell and all that. We also have those that, especially us from the eastern part of Nigeria, that goat is left for those in the northern part of the country, where they go out, they leave them on free and all that. But if you follow the trend on what is happening in Nigeria, you see that a call was made for ranching of livestock.
Yes.
It was no longer feasible for you to allow your livestock to wander about
Wander or
and
to graze around. Yeah.
go to other people's farm where they also have crops in their farm for their own survival, to eat up what they plant and all that. So there was a need for ranching of animals. And this is not a new thing in the world. Other countries have been doing this for a number of years. For example, when you talk about the Netherlands, even when they brought in the Boer goats to South Africa, yes, the South Africans have been doing well in ranching of animals. And I am particularly interested in what the East Africans do. Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, they do very well in ranching of the animal.
Yeah. For my own little research too, I realized that they are much better in agriculture than us. They are more advanced than us, you know. So it is a good thing that we have young men like you that are trying to bring up our agricultural sector to that level as well. So, you know, like I said, it's really something, because I would think every time I think about goat farm, I'm like, goat farming, is it really, you know, possible? Is it feasible? I know goat meat is expensive. I know it's expensive, right?
It is actually very expensive. It's actually very expensive for it's not the normal beef meat that people go to purchase.
And so it's actually a better meat than the beef meat itself.
Yes, it is. It is a better meat. It's a better meat than the beef itself.
Oh, okay. So my next question would be that where would someone like me who doesn't know anything about goat farming would want to locate a goat farm? Is it going to be a resident? Is it okay to have it in a residential area, or do I have to actually look for a remote place to get my land? And also, what is like the land requirement? What size of land do I need to start up a goat ranch?
Okay. Basically, when you are going into goat farming, you have to state what you want to do. From Adam, you have to state what you want to do. We have people that stay in the villages, that if probably you are staying in an urban area, every urban area have maybe a rural area or a semi-urban area close by to the urban area. Some people that are in the urban area choose to go to, let me use instance in Nigeria. Some people that are staying in Lagos, Nigeria, choose to have their farm in Ogun State, which is just some hours from Lagos.
A few hours from Lagos, yes.
Exactly. So for those that choose to have their land those places, you discover that they have a lot of land in those areas. So for those that bought those land, most times it's usually cheap. You can go for the grazing. That is, you can buy a land, probably some buy up to 5 acres, some buy even up to 1 hectare of land. And they allow the goats to go for grazing, because goats are grazers. Goats are grazers. They like feeding on top. They like going about eating themselves. Exactly. Now, those are the first category of farmers. The second category of farmers are those that actually stay in the city. These ones can also have a goat farm, but we have what we call zero grazing. So in a small piece of land, say 100 feet by 100 feet. This one can have a goat farm, and they will basically create the environment the goats need.
Yeah.
For instance, the ranging from the building of the house of the goats. The building of the house of the goats should portray a kind of grazing spot for them, even though it's a small confined area. For
Yeah.
instance, if you leave a goat in a house and you feed the goats, they wake up in the morning, they stay in that pen, and even if you feed them well, there is high chances that they will get sick and die.
So they need that activity. They need to
They need
go
activity.
around.
We call it exercising yard. We call it exercising yard. They need it where they feel like, oh, they've left their house. They are now in the exercising yard. And that exercising yard, you can also build a kind of just local kind of keeping the grasses for them on top, so that when they come out, it's as if, oh, look at this tree. I'm trying to browse. I'm trying to eat from up. It kind of gives them that comfort that they need. And yes, and goats, they are social animals. If they are comfortable, they do well. If they adapt to the environment, and the environment they are comfortable with it, they do very well.
So you have to make sure you create that environment where they are able to grace around, though
Exactly.
it's a confined space, but activity is needed for them to survive.
Exactly.
So what you're telling me is that for like a small piece of land, I can actually have a goat there, but I need to have the kind of housing or the kind of shelter for them where they can exercise themselves, they can move around, create that environment for them.
Exactly. And the good news is that it is very cheap to create such environment for them. Just using local materials that you might not even pay for.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've actually learned something from that, because on our last show we had this wonderful lady on the show that is into vegetable farming, and she gave us a perspective where most people always think that the bigger the land you have, the better farmer you are. But let us realize that even with a small piece of land, that thing have stuck with me since then, because I'm one of those that would always feel like, oh, I need to have like 10 acres so that they will know that I'm actually farming. You understand? So that's good. So we have some of our viewers on the show already. We have I believe this is probably your brother or your family. So Jonathan Odii is here. He says nice on there. So I have him on screen as well. We also have Timmy Tokme Adeoye, who is also telling us she's happy to be here. We're glad you're here on live with us as well on Facebook. Remember to like the channel, and subscribe to us so that we can keep the conversation going on here. So my next I would say question, because like I said, I don't want it to be a question and answer kind of thing. The next topic I'm going to bring it up is about the breed of goats. Do we have our own local breed, or do we have to source from outside, like buy from? Because I remember you talked about boer goats, which is more to South Africa, though was brought in from Netherlands to South Africa, but we all believe it's South African breed right now. Do we as Nigerians have our own local breed? Is our local breed, and when I like three different questions in one, is our local breed better than the foreign breeds, or is there a way where we can have them mixed up with foreign breeds to bring up a better yield for us?
Okay, we do have our own Nigeria breed. And the truth is that, we don't, as Nigerians, sorry to say this, but we don't value what we do have.
Yeah.
The Nigeria dwarf or the West African dwarf is a very highly sought out goods globally
Hmm.
because of its dairy capacity. That is the milk
The milk.
production.
Yeah.
Yes, you see a lot of people when you go to the YouTube and you search Nigeria dwarf or
Hmm.
West African dwarf, you discover that it is mostly the whites that you see a documentary. They are talking about, oh, I have Nigeria dwarf in my farm and it's giving me so amount of milk per day
Hmm.
and all that. And also our Sokoto red. Our Sokoto red have the potential to become a very big a breed, just
Hmm.
like what we have in South Africa. But over the years, just as we discussed before, we've had a lot of inbreeding. We've had a lot of inbreeding because we've not been able to, tag our goods properly. We've not been able to have a ranch where we don't allow inbreeding, where the father have to sleep with the daughter or the daughter have to sleep with the brother.
Hmm.
So when those inbreeding occurs, it kind of bring about stunted growth, and it will be as if our local breeds are not okay. But they did a better breed now. I am also an advocate that we need to get goats like the Boer goats, like the Kalahari goats in South Africa, so that we can use them to better our own breed. Because I believe that when we cross the Boer goat with our Sokoto red, for instance, especially our Sokoto red, I believe that the result will be massive. And that is why part of Odi's Ranch project for 2021 is to make the Boer goat and the Kalahari goat to be readily available in West Africa. So we're going to be partnering with some key farms like Dr. Abraham Gosson of Pilgrim Ranch that is in Omaya. We also have Mr. Ola that is in Osun State, and other key stakeholders where we'll partner in order to make sure that we improve the breed that we have, serve the goat apostles, and we are going to make goat farming great again.
Wow, that's nice. That's really really good. I'm just going to quickly jump over to our viewers because we have some of them giving us some comments on here. I have Basharun Olukayode. Thanks for being on the show as well. Like I said, remember to like and share the link. Raji Babatunde to says, well done, guys. We have Kola Wale Shokule also saying he's happy to be here. We're happy to have you on the show as well. Fumi Jaye Oba also mentioned the West African dwarf goats. I believe that's what she's trying to say, which you just spoke about. Um, Ben Smith is excited to be here. He says goat breeding is 2021 project. That's what he's hoping to do 2021. So you've encouraged someone already. We have Anuba Stacy. Nice to be on the show, guy. And also Tebi Tokwe, who wants to know about where she can source for the boar goats. So basically, like Simeon said, all you have to do is just check out their website. Their contact is there on the screen scrolling on there. They're going to be having that, very soon. So you should be able to source from them. Um, mm, so we've spoken about the types of goats we have. What about their health? The health of a goat. How do you ensure that keeping a, because it's not just about feeding them, it's not just about housing them. We also need to provide some, their medications and multivitamins and things like that to make sure they are healthy, right? So how do we make sure that I get a goat and it doesn't just get sick? We've talked about the making sure that you give them a physical activity environment, which is around a grazing like environment. So what else do we do to make sure that the health of our goat is okay?
The first thing you have to do when you start your own goat farm is just as basically when someone wants to start a goat farm, the first thing they do is to probably, if they have a farm, if the farm is not at their backyard, because most people start at their backyard, but if the farm is not at their backyard, they have a separate farm. They get a security, right? They normally get a
Yeah.
security, sometimes the security serve as an attendant. But
Mm.
what they neglect is the biosecurity of their goods. See, you might have security that we wait off or probably protect the physical environment against those that probably will maybe come to steal the goods from you or otherwise. But what about the biosecurity? You might have, for instance, those that have goat farm, sometimes they might invite a vet or maybe an animal scientist to come check out their goat, maybe for regular immunization, vaccine or all that. But they don't have a biosecurity to even check the vet that is coming. The vet that is coming probably is coming from other farms. And in those farms that the vet visited, they might have existing, let me say, infection, existing diseases, and all that. And the vet will just transfer it to your own farm. So when you have a farm, the first thing to do is to make sure that your biosecurity is top notch.
Mm.
And biosecurity is very cheap. Just get any disinfectant, put it in maybe, if you don't want to build, because I always preach that you don't need to build a lot of structure. No, you must first of all use local materials you have. So if you have this jerry can that you are not using, just cut it into half, put disinfectant and water close to your goat pen. And if anybody, you allow anybody, the idea is not to allow people to go in, but if you allow anybody to go in, even yourself, you need to make sure you dip your leg.
Mm.
That is the biosecurity. Now, secondly, you must make sure that regularly you vaccine, you have a schedule where you vaccine your goats. You must have a schedule with your vet where you vaccine your goat. In Nigeria, yeah, the most serious problem we have is the PPR. So
And
if you have,
what does that what's the full name of that?
that's
What's PPR?
PPR is pest the pest ruminant.
Okay.
Pest the pest ruminant.
Mm.
Okay. So it's when it comes, you see the goats having catarrh, you see them having diarrhea, you see them shrinking, and probably in a day or two, it kills very fast. The goat might not recover. So you must make sure that you have a regular vaccine program with your vet. Okay. And one good way you can also take care of your goat is to make sure that you learn first. before you start your goat farm. A lot of
Hmm.
people in Nigeria, a lot of people in Nigeria don't like paying for knowledge. They always love free information, just like what we are doing now. But it is not enough. It is not enough
That's true.
information. It's not enough information for you to use and start. So most times it is okay for you to, you must not pay for all information. YouTube is there. There are some free materials on Google. You can also follow people that are goat farmers, people that are real goat farmers, and those people that shares knowledge on what you need to do. So when you are able to learn, you can now remove the L and N.
And
So
hand.
if you learn,
I like
if
that.
you learn, if you
Hmm.
learn, you'll be able to learn basic things on the health of goat, especially how to inject them. Sometimes you need to inject goat for you to do a simple probably a simple task that you need to do. So you don't need them for you to do. So what you just basically need to do is to learn how to do basic injections, and those are not hard. And you can do that by going to a goat farm to learn on hand practically how you can inject goats. Okay, so this is basically what you need to do to make sure that the health of the goat is in check.
Okay. So that's good. What about feeding? What do we do about feeding? Do they just eat? Growing up, I used to believe that goat eat anything, but I'm very sure everything can be good for them. So eating anything, it's probably not right. So how do you feed them the right way?
Okay, that is the another aspect of goat farming, the feeding of the goat. Now, as I said earlier, goats are browsers. They like to feed on their own. But for we are now talking about this for the sake of everybody, those that have access to have their goat farm in the villages or in community where they have large land at their expense, or those that are staying in urban areas that have a confined state farm that would like to go on zero grazing. In feeding of goats, you make sure that you give goats dry matter. You give goats
Hmm.
dry matter, and when you have grasses, it is in fact goats do better in dry season than in rainy season.
Hmm.
Contrary to the what people think that during the rainy season there is a lot of grass and the goats will be feeding well and all that. The truth is that as the goats are feeding from the ground, their chances of having worm increases, and that removes a lot of money from your pocket because you have to make sure that you deworm them every 2 months if during the rainy season. But what serious goat farmers does is that during the rainy season they collect grasses and they tie it up as hay.
Okay.
Tie it up as hay. If you watch our parents, for those that grew up in the villages, you see that they normally tie hay on top of their houses. You
Hmm.
see a lot of grass on top of their houses. They are getting
Uh,
prepared for the dry season. So during the dry season, they feed these dry matters
hmm.
to the goats. So no matter what you feel like giving to your goats, you must not neglect the grass aspect of it. You must not neglect the grass aspect of it. Be it maize, be it that's the maize grass or the
Yeah.
yes, the steam,
The
be it
same. Yeah.
unicorn or whatever grass you have. For those that are staying in area where they can plant grass, We have grasses like Crowley's Guyana. We have other grasses that do very well. And these grasses, they grow for just 120 days. You can harvest them, allow them to dry, and then you feed your goats those grasses. Now, this is the grass aspect. Apart from the grass, you are also supposed to give them other food, which is concentrate. The concentrate you give them, each goat is supposed to take about 1.5 kg of concentrate per day. 1.5 kg of concentrate per day. And you don't need to go to any shop to buy it. You can mix it locally. You know this pap that almost every community have.
Yeah.
That waste that you see some of the farmers throwing it away.
The end product of it.
Exactly. Collect it. And what you need to do is to allow it to dry. Okay. Now, the maize offer, when you go to where they grind maize, you see them that after grinding the maize, there is this offer, this chaff.
Chaff, yeah.
Formerly it used to be cheap, but because of us now, they collect they collect a penny or more for those maize offer. You can collect them. Then you go to rice mill. You get the rice bran, not the chaff rice bran that we use as litter for poultry, but for those that knows the either kunun shinkafa or the tuwon shinkafa, that is the rice that was not parboiled, the rice that was not parboiled before it was milled. So that chaff have some broken rice. You bring them together and then get vitamin premix. You can get vitamin premix from any vet shop at the right proportion. Yes, you mix them. I have spoken about this at Odii's ranch Facebook. The correct proportion you need to mix. And then put a little salt. That's all. That's all. You can actually feed your goat with less than 500 naira a month.
Wow.
Yes, you can actually do that. So do not neglect the grass aspect and do not neglect the concentrate aspect. Now, if you are now living in urban areas and you say, where do you want me to go and be cutting grass to be keeping as hay? There is a solution. Do not cry too much. What you need to do is to turn their feed to silage. Silage is actually the preferred and the cheapest way of feeding goats.
Okay, so sorry to cut you, for someone like me that don't understand that English you just used, what is silage?
I'll break it down. The silage now in your land, okay, in your land, you just create a small area in your land. Let me assume you are using 100 by 100.
Yes.
Allow the goat to stay in 50 by 100. Both their pen and their exercising yards. Remember, you are doing zero grazing. Then for the other 50 by 100, what you do is you plant maize. Okay, you use the waste from the goats as fertilizer. You don't throw it away. To plant maize for them, you water it. Now, you go and use improved maize seed. Do not go and use the maize that you have to stay 100 years before it grows. Use this 40 days maize. If you use this 40 days maize, at 27 to 30 days, you see that the maize is already fruiting. You uproot it. There is a small machine that we normally have. What it does is to grate the maize. It will now grate it into chaff. The animal can eat both the maize, both the steam. You uproot everything, both the leaf. And then when you grate it, you get molasses. What molasses does? Molasses is like what ferments. It's what ferments the maize that you have already grated to
Graded.
smaller.
Yeah. Mhm.
If you cannot get your hand on molasses, you can prepare molasses by using yogurt. You just get yogurt and then you allow the yogurt to ferment for some days, and then you add some the yogurt you get is the probiotics. That is, you are not getting the you get a probiotic maize.
Probiotic. Yeah. You
Yes,
got yeah.
yes, but it's cheaper
Not.
when you just
Yeah.
get molasses. It's cheaper
Okay.
because molasses is about 400 naira or 500 naira per liter, and you can use that for up to a month or 2 months. So when you use molasses and you add molasses to the maize, you put them in a confined, an airtight container. Don't allow air to enter. The idea is this: is going to the molasses there is going to help you get inorganic organic, is it, yes, organic proteins. It will
Okay.
ferment the maize,
So fermented.
and
Yeah.
then it will make the maize to become a balanced diet. The maize now have carbohydrate, it now have protein, it now has everything, and after 9 days you open it and feed it to your animal. And just as you are feeding them, you have planted another maize.
Another maize. Yeah.
Yes, you have planted another maize. So using silage, this is what East Africans does. This is what East African does. Okay, because they are serious farmers. Okay, and we need to start getting serious here in Nigeria.
Wow. So there you have it, guys. We need to start getting serious in Nigeria. It's that's a wealth of information because I never thought that you could go into goat farming and actually make something out of it. So I have Ja Ola Tunde on here who wants to know if I'm not fattening a goat, what are the feeds you would advise to feed a goat, which is basically you've talked about now. So that's good. We don't need to answer that. But I have someone on here, Kola Shakunle, says he had I'm just going to you know cut it out, not read the whole statement. He had 17 goats at the beginning of the year, and he lost six. I don't know, to various. Is that in various a disease? He's probably talking about something else. Okay. So you basically what he wants to know is that he wants to know, is it because he didn't he had them in a confined space and he didn't free range them, or is it because the vaccinate he said they were vaccinated anyway. So he wants to know if you could help him out. Maybe it's the feed or something. But what's your idea about that?
If I understand him well, Kola Wale is trying to say he has 17 goats,
Yeah.
and even though they were vaccinated at various points, he
Yes.
lost about 6 and he's left with 11. When you see people having these issues, you tell them, show me pictures of the housing. As I said earlier, the goats wants to come out. Now in the housing, you have them in a compound, it is not a sin. But how did you build the compound?
How did you build the compound?
Yes, is it that you tie them up? Is it that you tie them up in the compound?
So
Is
they
it
don't
that
want to be tied up?
no, they don't want to be tied up. No, they don't want to be tied up. Even when a human being is in prison, you don't tie them up. You allow
That's
them
true.
to, yes, even just look at prisoners. They allow them come out from their prison cells to come to an exercising yard. If not, they will die. So why do you tie them up? You will not tie them. I don't know whether I tie them up. So the housing tells a lot. Okay. Another thing is, do you spray them? Because that's another thing. A lot of people don't spray their goats.
So when you say spray, what spray as in what do you spray? What
you
what
spray
what
them
is
with
that?
herbicide. You spray
Okay.
them with acaricides, okay?
Okay.
It's supposed to be a weekly exercise. It's supposed to be a weekly exercise where, apart from the exercising yard, there is another confined stage that we call the spray yard. The acaricide is the same acaricide that we use in baiting our dogs, for those that have dogs. You just mix, if you look at it, you see for dogs, look at the quantity you mix with so quantity of water.
Yeah.
For goat, look at what you do. You follow the instruction on the leaflet, and then you spray them every week. What that does is that even if you are taking care of the worm inside the body by giving them avomai or giving them albendazole, you're also supposed to take care of the ticks, the ectoparasites. You are supposed to take care of them, and you do that by spraying them. So if you allow the ticks to be on them and you are feeding them, the ticks is feeding on their blood, they will not get fat, okay? You'll be wasting your money and wasting your time, and wasting Nigeria's time too. So we need to get it right, okay? We need to get it right.
Yeah. So that's good. So Kolawole, I hope that Solai answers your question. Like you said, it's going to be better to actually see how your shelter is like, how your whole production is like. Then you'll be able to tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. So let's move to Temitope Adeoye. Temitope says, please, can you help us put the feeding process together? I mean, the silage. Temitope, I would say, I'm going to let Simeon answer that. But what do you think about what Temitope said?
I don't want to promote my ranch here. I don't want to do that. But
I'm promoting it for you. If you,
I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a video soon with the maize who are very soon on the step-by-step process. So if you follow this ranch on Facebook, very soon you'll see a step-by-step video where how you can make silage, and you just follow through and you do it. Okay,
there you have it, guys. You make sure you go to Odai's ranch, Odi's ranch. Sorry, I keep saying Odai. Maybe
that's the phonetic way of
phonetic way of it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's Odi's ranch Facebook page. You should be able to get the information you need there. Please go join, like their videos, and you get a wealth of information from them. You can see that he knows what he's talking about, and he's been into it for a while. So it's not a baby in this. He knows what he's talking about. So Basharu Olukayo, they want to know the population of goats in a 50 by 50 land. So if you have a 50 by 50 land, what population of goats can you have in there?
It depends on are you apportioning the aspect of just like I said, the maize. Are you apportioning some side where you plant maize? But if it is just for the goats, the exercising yard, the spray yard, and their main pen, you can keep up to, on zero grazing, you can keep up to 100 goats there.
Wow. That's I believe 50 by 50 is half of a plot in Nigeria.
Yes, it's half of a plot. Yes, you can.
And you can have 100 there.
Yes, you can keep up to 50 to 100 goats there, because in the morning, you allow them from their pen to come to the exercising yard. You understand? So they will not be confirmed. But the problem now is this: what if they start giving birth? Okay,
which is going to happen?
Yes, yeah, 50 by 50 land will curtail you. For those that have 50 by 50, I will not tell you to go into goat breeding. I would rather tell you to go into goat fattening and trading. It is also part of goat business.
So that's another part of the business.
And where
fattening
money
up.
is.
And where money is. So if you want to go into that, what's the process? What exactly do you go buy the goat from somewhere and you bring it and you fatten it up, or are you the one breeding it right from um from little to the grow? So what's the whole process for getting into a goat fattening business?
Okay, let me tell you a little story. I like stories. Okay,
Mhm.
two farmers, two farmers started a goat farm. Okay,
Mm.
and the two farmers started with about 50 goats each.
Yeah.
They have the same staff strength. They have the same, they spend the same amount of money in taking care of their farm. But the difference between the farmer A and farmer B is this: farmer A two of them are serious, so he's very active. He wants the goats to give birth so that he will now start selling the goats. He's projecting that in the next 12 to 18 months he will have goats to sell and he will start making a lot of profit. But do you know what farmer B did? He left his own 50 goats too, and he's also projecting that in the next 12 to 18 months they are going to give birth and he's going to sell them. He left them there.
Mm.
But he went to restaurant and start telling them, Nna, do you know that I sell goat oh? Do you know that I have a goat farm and I sell goat? And when they tell him, bring goat for us now, he will go to the market, not
Mm.
his own 50 to go and buy goat for 8,000 naira and now supply the restaurant for 10,000 naira. And the restaurant will give him a profit of 2,000 naira.
Wow.
In your own mindset, who is more profitable between these two farmers at the moment?
Wow, wow,
Who will
wow,
be more
wow.
profitable?
Yeah, yeah, I see, I
That's the
see, I see
farmer
the
B.
logic in that.
And that is
Farmer B,
and that
definitely.
is the business of goat farmer.
Mm, mm.
That
Wow,
is the
that's
business
something.
of goat farming. You cannot have a goat farm like the other person that asked question that he have 17 goats and they are now left
Mm,
with 11 since the beginning of the year. How is he making profits? How is he feeding
mm,
them? He's not even selling them. The goats have been 11, 17 since day one. Why is he
mm,
keeping them? For what? No production. They have not given birth. I don't understand. He's
mm,
supposed to, even if he keep those ones for breeding, he's supposed to be selling goats. Even if you don't sell them as live goats, you don't want to be called Odi's ranch that carry goat in his head on market day and he's selling.
mm,
You can bring a little bit tush and call yourself goatee that you sell goat on a
mm.
street or something. You can
Mm,
start processing it. There is this dry meat I normally eat when I was young, not kilishi.
mm.
The man
Oh yeah, I
is
know,
late.
bro. Yeah.
The man is late now. Is usually very small. I have tried to make it. I've not gotten that test I normally get when I was 10.
Mm,
So you can do a lot of things. You can do meat sharing. You can do goat meat kilishi. You can
mm,
supply goat to restaurants. Okay, you can use the milk from goat. You can turn it to cheese. You understand? There's a lot of things you can do. Why?
that's another question I wanted to talk
Yes.
to you about. So I'm going to
Okay.
let you finish what you're saying. Then we're going to go into that.
Okay. So what I'm basically trying to say is this: for those that want to be serious in goat farm, okay, immediately you start your goat farm today. Start trading.
Mm,
Start trading. Start making money from day one. On Sunday, I talked about this. It brought about a lot of controversy. People were insulting me from South Africa, from East Africa. They say that I'm a motivational entrepreneur. I'm misleading people. How
yeah.
can you, how can you make profit from day one? But when I went live on Facebook, I engaged them. And a lot of people, the video was shared. We have over 5,000 views now. I have
Mm,
seen the video on many platforms. in West Africa, in East Africa, in South Africa. I've seen it in other parts of the continent, not Africa. And people have seen that you must be serious. You must go into the business part of farming. You must take farming as a supermarket person, somebody that had a supermarket. He opens the supermarket today. He's not waiting for 12 months before he starts selling. He's selling that very day, okay? He's selling that very day, okay? That is how you need to take your farming business, okay? You need to start selling immediately.
So apart from being a farmer, you actually need to also have that business sense of it. You have to be ready to do business. So another thing I feel that we another issue that I feel that we have back home is that we want to do it all. I want to be the farmer. I want to be the businessman. And sometimes it's not possible for everybody. Some people can't do it all. So if you're the farmer, you need to get someone that can handle the business part of things for you. You understand? So that's just the way I see it sometimes, because we can't be jack of all trade, master of none. Some people can. I know people that can do everything, you understand, but not everyone. You understand? So the business part of it is also important, apart from being the farmer as you are as well. I'm going to quickly go to some of the comments on here. I have let me see, who is this? Okay, I have Timmy talk where my intention is to rear goat for meat. Please, can you give the best concentrate to achieve this? So I believe that's also about goat fattening, because she wants to breed the goats for meat.
Yeah, we talked about that. She can replay this later and she get those information. We've talked about that.
Definitely. So Timmy talk, we just go back on the when this is over. It's okay if you can give her some information, insight into it.
Okay, the best concentrate you use, as I said earlier. Yes, as I said earlier, the best concentrate, you need to give your goat up to 1.5 kg to 2 kg daily, and you can use locally made concentrate. Okay, you don't need to go to any feed mill to buy them. Okay, you have pap, the west from pap. You use them. We call it dusa. Okay, you can get maize offer. Okay, you can get rice bran. Okay, you can get vitamin premise, where you have your lysine, methylene, and other vitamins that is mixed together. Okay, you can also you don't need to put salt, because you already know, if you're a goat farmer, you already know you are supposed to have your salt or mineral leak where the goats are supposed to leak. Okay, so you can mix them together. If you have PKC, fine, you can mix them together and then it will give you a concentrate. But the concentrate does not listen, the concentrate does not replace the grass. You must also give them grass. Okay, you must give them grass. You can't just give them only apple. You must make sure you give them rice too. Okay, you should give them rice and shawarma. And rice and shawarma is the grass. Okay, so do not neglect.
I like that. So Kola Woli wants to know about the chemicals you can use because he says goats licks their body. What will the chemical not be harmful to them? So like the chemical you I believe he's talking about the spray you were talking about.
Yes.
He wants to know if it's not going to be harmful to their body.
It's not going to be harmful to them. Even dogs licks their body, and after bathing them, it's not harmful to them. Okay, it's not harmful to them. It just kills the tick and then it will wither off immediately. It dries with the water. Okay, So you
Oh,
don't be scared, okay? It's not
so
harmful to them.
there you have it, Kalawale. It's okay to use a
If it is
spray.
harmful, it's not going to be.
Okay. That's good. So I
Yeah,
have
it's
a
okay. It's not gonna. If it's harmful, it's not gonna be allowed.
oh, okay. All right. So I have a Jai here. Says well done, sir. I heard that maize cobs can be used in feeding animals. How can one go about it, sir?
Grind it, okay?
Okay.
Grind it. Either you
So
turn
there
it to
you
silage. Either you turn it to silage, or you feed them like that. Okay?
all
Just
right.
grate it to be in pieces. One good thing about goat is that if they don't like the food, they will not eat it, okay? They will leave it for
Okay.
you.
So basically that's saying that goats would eat anything. It's totally wrong.
It's wrong.
Why I
It's
wonder
wrong.
where that came from. Because growing up, that's what I've always believed. Oh, when you know what that thing they call you, you're a goat, stubborn, and you can
They should
eat
be
anything.
told.
So all right. So you heard that. Then I have Raji Babatunde B here. Please, sir, can you share? Okay, I've already done that. I've shared your Facebook page on here. It's showing right
Yeah.
now. So, guys, you can go to Odi's Ranch on Facebook. I have it also shared on
Okay.
the link there. So, in case you want to get in touch or you want to know more about Odi's farm, go on there. Follow them, like their page. They're a wealth of information for you to get from there.
Yeah, that's my driver. Mm. Okay.
So Temitope Adeoye also says, what's the name of the grass shaft cutter machine and where can one get the machine to buy? So I believe that's the machine you were talking about that you could use in grinding the maize.
Okay. It can be locally fabricated, okay? Though we have the foreign one, but I advise you that you can fabricate it. You can locally fabricate it at just look at your area, look at somebody that does fabrication, okay? You can fabricate it, and if you want to buy, we can also send it from here to you. We sell it 60,000 naira. We can send it here for you, okay? But if you
Okay.
have anybody that can do it for you, good.
All right, there you go, Timmy Talk. Where you can
Is
get
it
in touch with
done?
Simeon, and they should be able to help you out with it. Or if
House.
not, you can also get someone to fabricate that for you. Okay. So what else do we need to talk? There's a lot we need to talk about actually, because as we're talking, I'm also browsing your Facebook page, and I'm like, oh my god, he's got a lot going on there. So I, milk, goat milk.
Okay, then.
I don't even know. I don't know how to go about it. Just tell us about goat milk. Can one make money from it? Is it something viable to get into?
It is. It is. You can. The thing is that here in Nigeria, we've not tapped into that aspect of the value chain of goods. Okay, we basically want to drink cow milk, and it is because we don't drink fresh milk here. Unlike you that you're in Canada, you take fresh milk, okay? We take
Hmm.
powdered milk and evaporated milk here. You understand?
Yeah.
But goat milk is actually a better milk than cow milk,
Hmm.
okay? Goat milk is actually a better milk because when you check baby's milk, you see that it is actually goat milk. For
Are you
people that say
serious?
I will not take goat milk. The
Wow.
baby milk, nobody is gonna use cow milk to do baby's milk.
Mm.
Nobody is gonna do that. They are going to use because for those that are lactose intolerant, they can
Yeah,
actually take goat
lactose
milk.
intolerant.
Yes, they can actually take goat milk and they will be fine.
Mm.
Many of them have taken goat milk and they are okay. So you can actually use goat milk to do yogurt, okay, that people will
Mm.
take. You can actually use goat milk to do cheese that we normally buy, and most of the cheese that is produced that we get here in Nigeria that we see at the supermarket are cheese that are imported. While we
Imported
have the
cheese. Yeah.
animals here, we have the animals here, breast dey we dey waste am, okay. See the breast e dey o, we no dey use am, okay. You cannot see the vitamins, the properties that are in goat milk. You see that it is good for cosmetics. Nobody is going into that.
Wow.
You have a soap,
Okay. Mm.
you are into cosmetics, you have a soap. Why not just add a little goat milk and call it goat milk soap, okay? And the truth is that the milk, it does a lot of things. It's a beauty.
Wow.
It helps in
Goat's
all
milk.
these
Mm.
pimples, all these I don't know how to call it. I don't speak a lot of English, but all
Mhm.
these nyama nyama things that you see in people's body, okay,
Mm.
it
Mm.
helps a lot. It helps a lot. You can also browse it, but nobody is taking advantage of this. Nobody is
Mm.
taking advantage of it, okay. So we need to start taking advantage of it, and then we'll see the money aspect of it. So the good thing about it is that our Nigeria dwarf is a milk bank. Is a milk bank.
Mm. Wow, there you have it, guys. That's really something. I never knew goat milk could be used for a lot of stuff like that. That's really inspiring. We have James Balogun. Nice one, brother. I feel your conversation. So thank you for sharing that comment with us, James. Um, so another thing I want to talk about is goats. Okay, if I want to start a goat meat business, say for instance, I want to create a store where I say Mr. Butcher or Mr. Meats or whatever, and it's sold there. I want to have my own farm as well, my goat ranch as well. So what do you say to someone like that who has an idea like that? Is it to breed the goat from scratch, or is it to buy and fire fatten up the goats, or a mixture of the two? And how do you can you actually make money from something like that? Because why I'm saying that is that I in the markets, the butcher man, the meat sellers as we call them, you can never beat them. So how do you make money from it? You know, you get what I'm driving at,
That,
right?
I get what you are saying, but that is actually false. The truth is that if you are not greedy,
Hmm.
your goat will be cheaper than those at the market.
Wow. Okay.
If you are not greedy, those at the market have to pay a lot of things. They have to
Hmm.
pay for stand. You are not paying for it. You are doing it from your backyard. Nobody is
Hmm.
coming to do this thing and ask you to bring this or that. You need to go for your market research. How much is those in the market selling their goods? They have the same market with you now, and they are not buying their own from heaven, and they don't
Hmm.
have a goat farm. So why is it that your own is more expensive? Is it not greediness? It is greediness. You bought goat for 8,000. You want to make 20,000. You are giving 10% to 20% on pricing. Is it not okay? It is
Hmm.
actually okay for you. So let me assume my calculator is not close, but you bought goat for 8,000.
Yeah.
And you sell it for 10,000. That's 2,000 naira per goat. You might look at it as a small money, shawarma money. Now multiply it that you are selling 10 goat a day. Is that not 20K? 20K by a month, is that not 600? Is that not 600,000 naira?
Yeah.
Even professors in Nigeria don't collect that amount. Even when you remove all your stress of killing the goats and all that, you are still left with, let me say, 400 to 300,000. Anybody that earn up to 300,000 in Nigeria is comfortable, sir. Is a comfortable person. Okay, so in pricing, you need to take a course in pricing. Do not be greedy, okay? Do not be greedy. When you are starting, sell and get the market, okay? When you get the market, you can now start adding 15 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira. Nobody will know. Nobody will even notice. The reason is because they're already used to you. And if nobody is calling you Mr. Goat in your locality, you are not a goat farmer. If you are passing, nobody is saving your number with the goat man or goat woman, you are not yet a goat farmer, okay? You are still wasting your time. You need to get serious.
Wow.
So don't run your farm like a secret court.
So there you go. If you want to be a farmer, you need to be serious about it. It's not a kid's play. So what can you just like give us an idea of advantages and disadvantages of goat farming from other type of say for instance we compare to fish farming or vegetable farming. What's the advantage? Or even okay, let's even just put it straight. Between goat farming and cattle, which one do you think will be better?
You are talking to the father of all animals, and some of the animals will be
that's
sad
why
with me.
That's why I asked that question, because I know you have an idea of both.
During the board meeting that I will have with my animals, they will now say, "Okay, so you went on live TV, and you are telling people that we are not giving about to be serious here." The goat farming affords you opportunity to even start with 10,000 naira. Wow. I know not everybody can afford it, but majority can afford it, okay? For the cattle, you need to have money. You need to put money in your pocket for you to start the cattle business. So for someone that wants to go, it is this, you are still in the same line. Do not allow village pride to say, oh, I want it to be cattle. I want it to be cattle. The goat is a small ruminant. The cattle is still a ruminant. You get to big ruminant. Why not start from small ruminant?
From the small one first.
Yeah, start from the small one and manage the small ruminant. Then we go to the big one. We are going to go there. We are not dying soon. We are going there. So follow it gradually. Start from the small ruminant, and then we head to the big ruminant. We'll head there together.
Now, there you have it, guys. So, start small and plan big. You're going to get there. That's good. So we've touched basically, here and there on most of the topics that I have. Do you have anything you want to share with the viewers? Anything you want to say? Something to encourage us? Oh, before I do that, also let me acknowledge someone on here as well. Humere Sito Obang.
No, that's my wife. That's my wife.
Oh my God! There you go.
Humere Sito Obang. That's my wife. She's been my backbone. Okay.
Thank you very much, madam, for joining us. There you see, it's a family thing. Even madam is online as well, making sure God doesn't say the wrong thing.
Yes, exactly.
So, thank you so much for joining us. We're grateful. Temi Tokpe also says very educative. You know, we like I told you we have some of the best hand on the show. So we're glad Simeon is here with us. So like I was saying, before even before you go into giving us your advice and everything, where do you get this goat farming from? Do you have to go way up north, or is it something you can easily get? Or for instance, can I come to you um Odi's ranch and say I want to, I want 5 6 goats. Can you get them for me? How do I source for this for the goats? What's a way to go about getting them?
Okay, I operate on the B2B model and the B2C model. That is business to business and business to consumer. Okay, for
Okay.
those that want to start trading goods, I help them source the goods from the north here, and I send it to them on just a small margin. Okay, so that they
Mhm.
can sell, especially the Sokoto red and also the West African dwarf. Okay, so for
Mhm.
those that follow me online, they see we help you source for the goods. You just sleep at your house. We already have farmers, up to 200 farmers that bring goods for us. So even if you want 500 goods, we can source them within 5 days, and then we supply you the good. It doesn't matter where you are in Nigeria, we supply you, and then you sell and make money. Okay,
Mhm.
so we can actually be your goat plug, but
Okay.
you can also go and source it yourself. A good
Mm,
place to go is Jigawa,
mm,
Bauchi, the northeast, the north. If you have access to those area, because of insecurity and all that. If you have your way, if you know your way like us, you can go and source it, move it to your region and sell. It's that simple.
mhm. Wow, that's good. Um, we have someone here that wants to know about the goat waste. That's how do you use that as a fertilizer? How can you go about using it as to fertilize your land and things like that?
When you are tilling your land, you just mix it up. Okay, you just mix it up and plant your seed. Is
Mm-hmm.
is not compared to fish waste and poultry, but it
Mm-hmm.
is also a good source of organic fertilizer.
Okay.
It is better than the cow dung. It's better than the cow dung. Yes, the cow have dung. It's better than the cow dung. It's better than the pig dung. That's the goat this thing.
Oh, okay.
After poultry and fish waste, I think you should be coming towards the small ruminants.
There you go. There you go, Kalawale. So we have Martin here saying way to go farm up and Odis Ranch. Thank you very much, Martin, for joining us. Also, it says it's really educative section. Thank you. I told you Simeon is here to educate you guys. We're going to be having him on here again. Hopefully, he says yes. You understand? Because they are into a lot of stuff. I was just going through their website and the Facebook page. And guys, you need to go on their Facebook page and see the information he's got on there. It's way more than what we're talking about now. Because sometimes they say seeing is believing. Our show is just I'm sitting in my little cubicle, he's sitting in his office, we're just chatting and everything, but go to their website and go to the Facebook page, and you would get a lot of information on there. We have Yoda asking a question here. What are the items and cost needed to set up an abattoir to slaughter my goat and sell? So if I want to set up a butcher shop, sorry, that's what we call it here, we call it butcher shop. So an abattoir or slaughterhouse. Well, what do you think I'm going to need?
Don't. For a start, abattoir. If you call
Mm,
it an abattoir, you are now going to invite a lot of people, a small business you are just starting. You
mm,
invite a lot of health people. They will tell you that the animal need to be checked before you slaughter.
mm,
Just call it a slaughter. Just call it a. See, set up your own shop and call it cold room.
mm,
You have your unique brand. Then you just say, this is fresh from farm meat. You
mm,
understand? You just say, this is fresh from farm meat. Okay? So when you now slaughter at your house, but make sure it is neat. Slaughter at your house, take it to the shop. People will come and buy. If
mm.
you make any mistake for calling it an abattoir, the business might die before you start it.
Mm.
Okay?
It entails a lot, and
Yes,
from Nigeria, that's something.
yes. So do not use village pride. Do not allow
Mm,
village pride. You want to call it so that no, 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 no. Slaughter the goat at your farm or at
mm,
your house. Package it neatly. In fact,
mm,
people want to see where you slaughter it. So show a little video of how you do it. Once people are convinced that you are not giving them sick or dead animal and all that, they are good. Okay? They are
mm,
good. You don't need to create an abattoir. You know, you have to show environmental impact. You have to show health impact. You have to show this and that. For a small business, you want to start with 50,000. You know, those are the people I'm talking about. Small business owners.
mm.
Hmm? Okay. So people like Odis Ranch, like me, we are graduating to the stage of starting an abattoir. And it's no problem for us because we have started small and we are going there. Please do not start there. Okay.
There you go. We have Dancing Bassi here. Says really appreciate your good work, Simeon. Thank you for all the inspiration. So that's good. That's for you, Simeon. Raji Babatunde says, "What are the age of goat? What age of goat is ideal fattening?"
Raji Babatunde, okay, buy goods that are 8 to 10 months. And if you buy it 8,000 or 10,000, and on your way to your house, somebody price you 12,000, sell.
Hmm.
Carry the 12,000, go back home and buy again.
And buy
Because
again.
you might finish feeding that goat and you still sell it 11,000.
Hmm.
Buy at a low price, sell at a high price. Profit is made when you buy, not when you sell.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. So that's for now. Let's give us your advice. You know, tell us as a as a young man. Let's put it this way: a young man just finishing school. Um, the parents gives a little bit of change wants to get into goat farming and everything. Just give us your own God fearing advice, how you advise that person to go about things.
Simple. Ask your parents if you are still living at their house to indulge you for a while.
Mm,
Promise them that in the next 3 to 6 months, you are going to move to your own house and stop disturbing them.
mm,
Promise them and make sure you keep your word. As a young boy or young lady just leaving school, then go to the market and find out how much goat is cost. If you really want to do this business, you can thank me later. After you have seen the price, go to the market and see how much the meat guy sell. Tell the meat guy you want to buy the lap and the arm or the head or the intestine. Price it at the abattoir as if you are buying all the goods in the abattoir so that you can see the lowest price they can sell. Then go and meet people. Choose your target market. there is nothing like everybody eats goat meat. There is nothing like everybody drinks water. I know some of you will attack me later, but there is nothing like everybody drinks pure water. We still have people that don't like drinking sachet water. So everybody is not your customer. Go and
Yeah.
look for your target market. Don't say everybody they eat bread now, everybody they eat goat now. No. Choose your market. Are you going for the high-end market? Are you going for the doctors, the bankers, the civil servants, or are you going for the restaurants? Okay, or are you going on a B2B concept where you buy goods and you now sell it, buy goods from the rural women and now sell it at the market for a margin? Be clear about what you want to do and then immediately start. Meet those your target market and tell them you have a goat farm. 95% of the time, nobody have the time to follow you to go and say, let's show me the farm. Nobody have that time. What they know is, can you deliver? Okay, I need 5,000 naira own. Let me try you now. Go bring am, but if e no make sense, I no go buy next time. Say no worry. Then you meet another person. Immediately you have up to one full goat. Go to the market, buy the goat. Rush to your mother's house. Tell them, you know now, I tell you, say me una no vex. Kill the goat, slaughter the goat there. We don't use the word kill. Slaughter the goat in an hygienic way and in a way that also befits slaughtering, okay? Then pieces it the way they want, carry it in a neat brand. If you have any brand, it's just 10 naira. It's just 10 naira per sticker. Stick it to the nylon. It doesn't cost anything. Staple it together. Carry it and go and drop for them. They will look at it and say, it's not bad though. Some of them will tell you, no rich market own. It is a lie. If you are not greedy, when you leave, they will see the kind meat wey this guy dey give and na fresh meat. They will start calling you. Don't even wait for them to call you. Go again and again and again. If they don't buy today, well, they told you they could not buy today, not tomorrow. So go tomorrow. If they don't buy tomorrow, they told you they could not buy tomorrow, not next tomorrow. Go back again and again. Okay? Then with time, you have a lot of people to supply. You can now get another person to add to you, to now start supplying a particular region while you develop a particular region. With time, you can become the Dangote of meat, okay? Yes.
Yeah, there you go. The word from Simeon Odai. As you're talking, I was also, looking on your Facebook page and everything. So whoever is saying that you're just an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, they're right. But you also know about the business because I'm checking out your Facebook and I see that there's a lot going on there. You talked about farm investment when we were talking earlier before we went live. Can you give us an idea of if I want to invest into goat farming? I don't want to do it, but I want to give you my capital to invest. What returns do I expect? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? Is it yearly? How do you go about it?
Okay, we give in returns every 5 months. We understand that not everybody can be a farmer, but because of the low credit and support from government, we don't want to be talking about them all the times, talking about how they could not assist us, because when you look at it, they have a lot of program for us, but sometimes, I don't know who is watching this, but I have to be frank, at the end of the day, they don't do anything. They tell us sign here, and the money don't come to the real farmers. We've been hearing about NICE giving money, and they have been with me a couple of times. They have not given me a kobo, okay? They have not given me a kobo. And I see people that are tellers, people that are mechanics that are getting access to those money. And that is why we are not growing our agricultural sector. We might say farmers need all these, and they are not doing anything for us. The Bank of Agriculture is like a microfinance bank, and they are not even doing anything. Okay, so that's why we made a co-farming model where, okay, I can't farm now, but I want my money to work for me. What we do is that you give us your capital, and we give you 25% return on investment every 5 months. What we use your capital to do is we buy goods, and then we sell the goods to customers. We make returns, and then at the end of 5 months, we give you both your capital and the 25% return on investment. If you wish to reinvest anything, you can reinvest it. So the minimum investable amount is 12,817 naira.
Mhm. So there you go, guys. You can, do what they call co-farming, which you invest through Odii's farm. And is it just goat farming, or do you like from your Facebook page? I see you do all the stuff, fish production. You're into
Yes,
poultry, so
yes,
there's a lot of stuff that you can gain from Otis Farm. So
yeah.
go on there, check them out. Call Simeon on the number you have scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and the website is all there. His email is there. um you know Talk to them, see how you can be, a shirt and tie farmer as well by investing into farming. You still call
Exactly.
yourself a farmer. At least you tell them,
You
oh,
are a farmer.
you're a farmer, and just invest into it, and you make sure farmer as well. So I like I said, there's a lot I see on your Facebook page that I want to talk about, but because the show is about the business of goat farming, I'm like torn between that, because I keep looking at asking, I'm like, oh, I need to talk about this. So Simeon, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You're going to be coming on the show once again, I hope, so that we can actually talk about the investment part of farming in total. We need to talk about that. Even the goat farming, I'm very sure we haven't covered everything. Also, I'm hoping soon enough we're going to have a camera crew, or find a way to actually shoot you in the farm. You show us around, because that most times seeing is believing. We don't want to be the tie shirt and tie farmers as well, where we're just sitting here talking about, oh, do this, farm that, where we actually don't show our viewers. So hopefully we're going to be doing that soon. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the show, for being part of the Farmer Hub TV channel. And any last words from you?
Go start something. Start today. Start small, but dream big. Okay. The sky is just a stepping stone. You have it in you. So just do it. Forget about the near sayers. Forget about what your girlfriend will think. Forget about what the neighborhood will say. That you finish school and you are now into good. Don't listen to them. Nobody is gonna feed you when you are broke, okay? And then when it start making sense, they will now start telling you, oh, this thing I have had it in my mind, but I want to forget about those people. Go and start, okay? That's my last
Wow,
word.
that's a powerful last word. Start small, dream big, and don't think about what anybody says. And to top that up, I remember growing up, I had someone say this to me once. He said that if you look at the richest people in the world, in fact, he was talking about Nigeria, the richest people in Nigeria, because I was in Nigeria then, small, a young man, and he says, look at them all; they all have farms. Obasanjo has one.
And that's true.
Atiku, Babangida, they all have farms. He told me that if it wasn't so profitable, they would never invest in it.
Exactly.
You
That's
understand?
true.
So
That's true.
agriculture is one of the biggest sector to invest in the world. People would have to eat. You would have to feed people because it's very
That's true.
important. And since that thing never left me, so that's where my passion for agriculture comes from, because I actually sat down to look at these people and I realized that they all have farms. It's true. Maybe they didn't start as farmers, but at the end of the day, they all have farms. You understand? So
Exactly. That's
if you see a rich man investing into something, it means that there's money to be made. You
follow the
understand?
money.
Money. That's it. You understand? So that's where my passion comes from, and that's why I've always wanted to, get into farming. I keep doing other stuff, but I still come back to it. And this show also is my way of coming back into it as well, you know. So thank you so much once again, Simeon. I'm very grateful to have you on the show. So guys, no more comments, Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, like I said, we're gonna have Simeon back on the show, and we'll let you know when that is going to be possible. And on next Friday, we're going to be having someone else, and it could be Simeon as well. Who knows? You never know what the wind may bring our way. So thank you again, and
Yeah.
have a lovely day. And remember to like us, subscribe on YouTube, share the video. It's a wealth of information. That's why we're here. We want to
I hope
be
you're
able
gonna
to
leave the video too, right?
oh yeah, I'm going to
For
it's going to be on Facebook, or it's going to be on
okay,
YouTube, so they can always view it. And
okay.
as well, it's going to be there permanently. And if anybody also wants a copy of the video, they could always email us at farmerhubng at gmail.com. We will share the video with you. So thank you once again, and we're going to be stopping right here. I believe we've had about an hour and 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and of a wealth of information. Thank you guys, and do have a lovely day.
Okay, bye bye.